Alright, you all ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we stretch or like?
Yeah,
you
like
do some vocal?
Is that how you usually start your things when you do CSI?
My.
You know when, for example, when I go to jiu-jitsu and stuff, you have to do like this regular routine. You got to do these flips and like rolling on the ground. Do they have a lot of stuff like that in CSI or?
Yeah, you gotta warm up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like any sport or theater. That's the effect.
So what's like the most common type of warm-up practices?
You gotta do like a physical warm-up because you gotta move around.
Physicality?
And you gotta do like a mental warm-up. Keep your
mental?
Yeah. You gotta keep your brain limber.
How do you do that?
Do like word association or...
Alright, can we do some?
Yeah.
Alright.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're just going. It's happening already.
Okay. I'll say first half of a word.
First half of a word.
Or a sound, and then you say second, and then we put it together.
Okay.
So like...
Okay.
Bear
Grylls. Okay.
Then you do what?
Paris
attacks.
Oh, Paris attacks. Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
It's fine. You got it.
I thought it was an actual condition. Paris attacks.
Yeah. Try.
Dent.
Yeah. Try and gum.
Gum.
See?
Oh, and then you say it together at the end.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
okay.
it's stretching your brain and then also trying to get that connection. Yeah.
So it's really important. You got to get in the connection with the other players.
Yeah, it's a team sport.
It is.
It's as much a sport as it is theater.
Do you enjoy working with other people when doing improv, or do you prefer? Is it even possible to do like a one-man thing like that?
Yeah, you can do a one-man thing, but that's like playing a game of catch with yourself.
It must be awesome, like handball. Or
Yeah,
just hit against the wall.
Yeah. But after a while, you start to feel pretty alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you need someone to throw it to and send it back. You do see one-man shows, but I don't think you get very surprising improv that way. So
what are usually the golden rules
when you're improvising?
Yeah, do's and don'ts basically.
No masturbation.
Well, I'm done.
Yeah, sorry.
That's how I improvise. That's the best form of improvisation.
Meaning don't just go for the joke. I think that's
interesting.
Yeah,
so you don't go for the joke.
No, you gotta just trust that it'll come. Cause.
So you're going for truth? Is that basically?
Yeah, you're going for the scene, not for the immediate sellout sort of laugh. Because a lot of first improvisers, they'll come in and someone will say hey, welcome, to the grocery store.
Yeah, okay.
And they'll say, oh no, this is the circus or something, and they'll completely say no. They'll make a joke.
Okay.
And then it's funny for a second because you put your partner in an awkward thing, but the scene is dead. So okay. You go for the laugh, you get a big laugh, and then you destroy everything. So it's tempting for first people, especially if they're nervous.
So it's basically just setting up and setting up and setting up and.
Yeah, it's building off of each other to make a giant house sort of thing. We say
each cards.
Yeah, no, stronger house. We say everything you put in an improv scene is a brick. So you lay a brick, and then your partner lays a brick, and brick and brick and brick and brick, and then you have this fully completed thing at the end.
And I guess it's just through feeling it out that you guys start to really work with it once everything's all built up from that point.
Yeah, there's you can find a game in a scene okay, this is the gimmick, this is the joke that recurs. The more you improvise with people, you know their quirks and you know how their mind works and where they tend to go. So yeah, you gotta figure out how they work and how they know how you work, and then you kind of just share one brain sort of thing.
So how would you describe your improv style then? Is there such a thing?
Yeah, there is. There's the people that are really character driven and they sort of focus on what they're doing on stage. There's people that are more directors, they look at the bigger picture of a scene and like they don't think like what can I do but like what does the scene need.
Okay.
There are people that are more like slow storytellers, not so physical. They're very like witty and they, everything they say gets a laugh, but like they just sort of stay themselves a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, you can be all sorts of performers, which is cool if you have a group and everyone has their own skill set. Like you got, people that are good at musical, improv, or freestyling, and so I don't know.
Would these be considered genres? Like each person is a genre. Is that what it is? And it's like mixing in these subgenres together.
I think it was like a superpower. Like everyone has their own power. That. Like he's super good at puns.
The big Punisher.
Yeah, big pun guy. But he knows how to make anything sexual, and she knows how to sing and improvise songs, and like everyone can sort of do a little bit of everything, but everyone has their strengths.
So it's kind of like Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
like Captain Improv.
Yeah, not like the cool superheroes, but like
Captain Fracking. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's I never really knew about that because I've never got into that scene of improv, but it always seems very alluring because to me, whenever I see it from an outside perspective, in a superficial way, it always looks like you're constantly mapping out your area of comedy, landscape and stuff, and I'm always curious how much of the stuff you're always recalling back in a new scene, or how much you're actually creating new content based on what's happening.
Yeah, I don't try to. I think if you do it long enough, it becomes sort of instinctual. You're not like thinking what the end is going to be. It gets to a place where you just trust that it'll find itself, and you only really think in the next 10 seconds ahead of you. Right. It's like a conversation like this is like improvising. Like, we don't really know what's gonna happen, but I have faith that you're probably gonna say things, and I'm probably gonna say things, and it'll just go like that for a while until it's over. We don't have to be like, okay, then in 45 minutes we're gonna talk about North Korea, and then at 55 we'll probably move to you don't need to write the whole thing.
Right. No, that's a great point in terms of just. So it's essentially just staying in the moment, whether it's fabricated or make believe or whatever.
There's a whole book about the huge crossover between Zen and improv. It's all about being in the here and now and just accepting what comes to you and morphing to it and going with that and no resistance and.
So Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Do you know Jeet Kune Do?
No idea.
Oh, really?
But it sounds lovely.
Oh, Jeet Kune Do.
It's a tea, right? It's a type of.
Oh my god!
Soft drink?
It's like kombucha.
Delicious.
Made by hipsters and. Actually, no. Jeet Kune Do is the martial art that Bruce Lee invented.
Oh.
So Bruce Lee was at the time, during the 70s and stuff. It was really, really taboo to go and delve into different martial arts. It was very segregated, and only this was the best or this was the best. And he was kind of this small kind of precursor into mixed martial arts. But his whole philosophy was, learn all things and just take what is necessary out of all of them. So his Jeet Kune Do, his martial art was actually, the culmination of all these martial arts that he had learned throughout his life.
Yeah.
And applied it into a lifestyle.
Did he get
this? Be like water. That's his whole thing,
be like water. Move.
Yeah.
Around.
Right.
Did he get the same shit that the first mixed race couples got?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, people were purists.
Sharon, his wife, shat on him all the time and gave him so much trouble for. I'm not literally. I don't know what goes on between them, but he definitely showed her the 1-inch punch. Eh?
Yeah. That's a great nickname for a dick.
Oh, it wasn't his dick. That was just foreplay. That's what I was trying to get into, basically. But that is a good name for a dick, too.
The 1-inch punch.
1-inch punch. That is a good one for Asians. God damn it.
Yeah. You own that, it's not mighty, but it's powerful.
Absolutely. Just one thrust. It's like gorillas, they don't go for a long time. Their dicks are so small, but they just a thrust and they're done.
And it doesn't affect their confidence.
No, because they're just baller. They're literal savages.
You know, if you make fun of a gorilla's dick, he'll rip your face off.
Yeah. He'll just rip your dick out with his fucking with his forefinger and his thumb, like this.
Like a grape off the vine.
Yeah.
And then he'll put it on his dick, like a little sleeping bag.
Well, goddamn.
I don't know where this podcast usually goes, but
basically what we're saying, just be like water.
Yeah.
Water, aka gorilla dick.
You asked what kind of improviser I am. That.
Yeah, but that's that's really interesting how it applies to all other facets of your life. Where else do you feel like this, like just improv itself has influenced other parts of your life?
Oh, it makes me like 100 times better teacher.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Okay, like
100%.
In what situations do you find you use?
Like kids will love you. It's very easy. Kids will love you as long as you just do what they do. So, like, improv is all about yes and. So, like, if a kid is, like, for some reason, they're weird and stupid and crazy, they just, like, walking down the hallway like this, like, I just should go to it, too. Like, I like your idea. I'm going to play with you for a second.
Okay.
It's very simple. You just copy them, and then they adore you. So it's like, oh, this big thing, like, validated what I do.
Right.
Sort of thing. So, I use it like that, and also, like, with improv, you do a lot of miming. You don't have any props. It's theater with no props because you're making the story right there. Yeah. So you have to get pretty good at miming. You know, you hold the box, you open the box, you reach in the box, pull the thing out, you know. So I use that all the time when I teach because I'm lazy and I don't want to make materials. So instead of like...
You're lucky then. You don't have any school plan, right?
Yeah,
In some schools you have to do that, but for you to like, just do it. You're like, right.
Instead of printing out a picture of an umbrella and be like, this is an umbrella, I just like literally hold under it and then I'm like, you know, you can mime and paint the picture visually. It's very easy for me and it works pretty well for them also.
So the kids must love that too then, right?
Yeah. I mean...
It's so great too, by the way, how, you know, when you do those kind of things, like you start making all these, like this inside joke culture with your students. And just like anyone else outside, they have no idea what's going on.
No. Usually inside jokes aren't funny to people outside. These would really not be funny to me. Yeah. But you have a great time.
So when the Korean teacher comes in, you're just like, what? It's English. This is what Americans do, right? Like,
yeah.
Move it on from there.
Me and my Korean teacher, I don't think she'll watch this, so I can say this. Our relationship is like, we're a marriage that has no love, but we're in it for the kids.
That's sad
just
and poignant at the same time.
We just had a cold falling out.
Right.
And we're just pushing through it.
You're just saving the alimony.
Yeah, until they get to college.
That's true though, right? That's usually the reason why most teachers still stay at their schools, not because of the teachers or the school itself, but because of the students, right? That's always what the Facebook post you'll always see.
Oh yeah.
Goddamn, Lee is just like these goddamn kids. I'm doing it for them, you know. And then you know you're in that situation when you start calling them my kids.
True.
Right?
True. I won't. I'm gonna be the dad that goes and gets cigarettes and then never comes back.
You're gonna put it on your sleeve like this?
Oh yeah. For sure. How else do you hold cigarettes?
I want to see that brought back. I haven't seen people do that in a while.
I think if I saw someone doing that, I would hate them.
This is an immediate thing, right? There's like some things. Okay, what are some other things that you see that you just like, what an asshole?
Like people that overly like slick their hair back to look like a bad guy.
And put a ponytail in the back, you know, it's like this big.
That's aspirational. They like always wanted a ponytail. They just finally got the length. That's a big one. I don't know. I feel like I can find a reason to hate any stranger. I love people and I hate strangers.
I love people that hate strangers. Yeah.
You can quote me on that.
It's on the internet soon. It's gonna be there forever.
Love people, hate strangers. Love people, hate groups.
Okay, so what do you love about people and what do you hate about strangers?
Just strangers. I don't know. It's like I get tricked every time. Okay. I think people are just distant robot people that just don't care about anything. And then you have a conversation. It's like, oh, okay, you open up. There's a person there. Right. But I forget the second I meet a new stranger. Like, you have a wonderful experience with a stranger, get to know them, and they'll turn around and be another stranger, like, fuck that guy.
That's true. Yeah, it's so interesting how you see all these different circles of, I don't want to say influences, but just people are constantly surround you. You know, like, for example, in the middle it's yourself, and then around you is either your lover or your family, and then friends, and then acquaintances and strangers.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see how much, you know, people get confused sometimes, even with strangers and friends with acquaintances. You know, like I tend to find myself, I have a lot of acquaintances around, but you know, the definition of friends can be very different for a lot of people as well.
True. When does it go acquaintance to friend?
Usually when we just share the same urinal. That's usually what's
one
guy or girl
urinal.
That always helps. I don't know, like it depends, because talking about just sharing personal things, especially with a friend, like I don't mind being open. You know, I have a pretty good filter, but there's some people that I've even going through certain experiences together with friends.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of builds a relationship, and you know, wanting to hang out with them more on a regular basis. You know, just for shits and giggles, just hanging out.
I'm a firm believer in suffering together.
Suffering.
Like going out with a couple of friends and it is a disaster is almost a better thing for a friendship.
For sure.
Like if you have a good time, it's like you'll forget about that. But if it's the worst day.
Do you have any that come into mind?
Just like
in Korea or beyond.
Getting super lost, like scary lost. Like I don't know if we're gonna find a bed tonight. Lost.
Where was this?
In the
woods?
In the woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no beds there for sure,
Yeah. One time me and a friend thought it'd be fun to walk around a lake, thinking that it was just a, circle. It was actually like a barbell, so we were only around one barbell.
It's like
there was like a connection to a bigger lake.
Oh, damn.
We didn't realize what we were in for, and the sun started to go down, and we were rationing water. And like we contemplated like going across the skinny bar part of the barbell, and shit like that, like scary in the moment, terrible, and then
so how did that play out?
We died.
Okay. Ghost dad. What?
Ghost. First ghost on the podcast.
Yes.
First. No, we wouldn't have died because there was blueberries everywhere. Didn't mention.
Did you have them? Did you try them? They were okay?
No,
not poisonous at all?
Not even a little, no. It was...
Are there not, like, poisonous blueberries or just berries in general?
Blueberries, no.
Have I not seen a movie? I feel like I've seen a movie where, like, don't eat those ones. Those are the bad ones.
Berries, yes. Blueberries are all fine.
Oh, okay.
You'll be fine with a blueberry. Some will look like a blueberry, but they're poison.
It's just, like, rapid shit stuck on some branches. It's just, like...
True.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, like, whenever you travel with friends.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's like instant glue, or end of friendship. It's a make or break.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Especially in relationships.
It's
a big one. Traveling's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember even Bill Murray used to say that. He had a quote. You ever seen it? Sometimes I feel like I tend to say like, oh, I see it on TV. I don't even watch TV anymore. It's always something I see on a post on Facebook, which makes me feel so less dignified.
But
like,
it was
I
still,
recently saw this post
sad.
of Bill Murray saying, the best thing for any relationship, if you really want to marry someone, is you got to travel with them first. Like, just go somewhere new that you've never been together. You're going to fight, you're going to argue, you're going to just get lost and stuff. And then at the end, if you guys still like each other, then go for it,
Then you get married.
It makes a lot of sense.
I believe in
go through that suffering, hardship, discovery path, and relying on each other.
Yeah, if you see each other like every night and then you like leave, you can prep, you can like get ready, be your best, show up as your best person. But if you're like in each other's lives 24 hours for days on end, making like tough choices, you get to see each other at like your worst. Like you're not so prepared,
right?
Which is important,
right?
Because that's what you're gonna see for the rest of your life.
That's a really good point in terms of how often people don't see you at your worst.
Oh no, there's so much behind
always
the scenes.
Home, right?
So much behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's like the backstage persona and then the performance persona.
Right.
Like we do so much work to look a certain way and seem like we have our shit together.
Yeah, it's really interesting too, and the how much we're always have a persona, just basically in everyday lives, right? Like it takes a really, really long time to just kind of filter that out and just kind of be yourself. That's something I'm always struggling with constantly.
Yeah.
Is trying to be myself, as even when I'm at work, because a work environment is not, doesn't cater to just, hey, if I talk about, or I don't know, why would I talk about that, but something ridiculous, but something that just comes out of the norm that for somehow like you try to legitimize it by saying, hey, it's gonna help me work better if you just let me just talk about weird shit and stuff. But
true. I'm like actively trying to resist my job like killing my soul.
That's what happens.
You
right?
gotta be like professional and robotic and like that's not really who anyone is at first. I mean, I think people turn that way by working for a long time. But fortunately, like, where I work, we have our own room where, like, the doors are closed, the children are out, and there's no CCTV. So, like, we can kind of, say whatever we want. So you don't have to be professional all the time.
So you turn on the music really loud, and then you just talk to them so they can't read your lips. It's like an AI or something.
Yeah. Or that's why working in a restaurant is good. Because those people are like, you can sort of be yourself in a restaurant. Like, it's professional to the customer, but like, even behind the scenes with like management things, it's very casual. It's like, it doesn't really suppress who you are like a desk job would.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Different jobs definitely cater to different personalities.
Yeah.
You put up. So, what would you say? Is your ultimate, for lack of a better term, it sounds too deep. But what would you say is your ultimate destiny? What would you ultimately would love to do?
That is heavier.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just traveling.
Just traveling.
Yeah, that's all it is now.
That's the main focus overall, right? Just traveling, and what do you hope to get out of like that overall experience every time?
I don't know. I knew that I needed to like leave America for a while and just sort of like soak in all I can, and then go back and not feel like I'm missing something. Like, I wanted to see all I can before I, like, start a life.
Okay, so you wanted to get out of the States, so when you come back, you don't feel like you're missing something.
Yes.
Right? That you're always looking out and saying, oh, I wish I could have done that.
Yeah, I'm very worried for my midlife crisis. So this is, like, an investment in that.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're doing that, right, you're just trying to fill up in terms of like life originating experiences.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I think that's an important currency to have.
Right.
Like, I think a lot of people that my age, they rush to get their job and start the career.
Yeah, especially back home, that's a really common thing, right?
Yeah. Which teach their own. But I did not want that sort of commitment right away. So I wanted to just go out and see everything and work, but still kind of be independent and free, and then go back and put the chains on.
So how did you decide to come to Korea then?
First, I was a teacher in Thailand.
Oh, okay, so you were in Thailand first.
Yeah.
Wow, how was that like?
It was awesome.
Teaching in Thailand.
Yeah. It's a complete opposite of here.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Can you give me a few examples?
It's like the Wild West. There's just like, there are rules, kind of, but like they're not really enforced, and you can get away with a lot, and everything can be negotiated. Nothing's so black and white or contracts or like so much that we're used to in Korea and in the States, and I'm sure Canada. Like, there's a lot of wiggle room for everything.
Wiggle room. Indeed.
Yeah. Like, I had a motorbike in Bangkok, and like, if you need to just drive on the opposite side of the road for a little bit, just like do it. Just use your discretion.
Right.
Like, people won't stop you. If you need to go, like, hop on the sidewalk for a while and go around old ladies, like, okay, that's fine.
That's still kind of like in Korea, but it seems like
You
it's
can do
less
that
regulated in Thailand, obviously.
Yeah. It does exist here, but it's definitely new level.
Just like the roads are nicer here. But that's
yeah, everything is nicer here. But they also, it's the price of having your shit together.
Right.
Like everything.
I think I remember reading some type of a study where it says that you can judge how well the government is doing in a country based on how the road traffic is.
Traffic.
Yeah, just how like, you know, the daily routes of all cars and passengers and driving by. That is the dictation of how well the government is.
Then Bangkok is doing a terrible job.
I would assume so, right?
Yeah, they're doing real bad. Well, then Korea's not doing great either.
No, they.
I don't know if that's a fair.
It's like the small things, right? Like,
yeah.
obviously, there's not like a bus going through the sidewalk.
True.
Right. If they could, they would, but they have.
Yeah.
It's not enough space. But still a little
I don't
bit.
know if that's fair for like a city of how many people are here? 18 million?
No, I think it's more. Isn't
More
it
now?
40?
What?
Am I wrong or am I
40?
wrong? 40? Okay, let's see the.
Someone's
let's see
wrong.
This.
Someone's very wrong. 40? I know it's like 1 in 5 Koreans, yeah?
Population of Korea.
Oh, we're talking about Korea.
No, let's say South
I
Korea.
was talking about Seoul.
Oh, Seoul.
Seoul,
Oh,
18
okay.
million.
Oh, okay. Well, the population of South Korea is 50 million.
Okay.
Right?
Come on, 18. 18.
10.
What? Fuck you, Internet.
10. New York, 8. Hong Kong, 6. Wow, really? That's interesting. Toronto is like 3. That's basically this whole neighborhood over here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've been feeling some real, like, big city.
But this is 2014, so hard to say.
Google. Come on.
What's going on here? You haven't updated since 2014, yo?
What are you doing?
How dare you?
You're supposed to get in your self-driving cars. Don't even update population.
So, for people out there, now you know, the current population as of 2014 in Seoul is 10 million. Take anything what you will out of that.
10 million strangers that I hate.
Strangers, not even people.
No.
They're all strangers to you.
Strangers aren't people.
Oh, fun thing that happened yesterday was, you know Dan Weiberg, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was his birthday yesterday, so we went as a birthday celebration. We went to the racehorse track.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, but first time ever.
I've never been.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
know where it is. Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Really?
What a unique place. That is the land of ajushis. Like
Really?
like
I could
you
believe
know,
that.
think of the stereotypical ajushi squatting down, spitting, yelling, just but like 10,000 of them.
So the entire floor is just greased with loogies.
Yeah. And then they have the newspapers, like all the programs, so they use that, you know, to squat and just read that. And surprisingly, no alcohol allowed. No alcohol allowed. There's a GS
In Korea?
Yeah, like there is a GS Mart in there, but does not serve alcohol. Which I thought that was a good idea, but I was wow, they've enforced this, and no smoking either. You can't smoke in that place, which is crazy. So you have all these.
It's like a church.
It looks like a Seoul Station, if that makes
Really?
any sense. In the sense that there's like a lot of people like, do these guys have homes? You know, like it's really hard. You know, they have a lot of papers just collecting, and they're all just you know, you can bet as small as like Baegwon, which is basically 10 cents for all Baegwon. So everyone's just getting their coins out like this. All right, let's just do this, and everyone's like cutting in line. They just want to get it in before the next race, and before the race, there's like a preliminary walk around. So you know the jockey, he's like leading his horse around this smaller track, right? And while that's happening, all these ajushis are just roasting these poor horses, just shitting on them, like, you fucking asshole, you better do good or I'm gonna fucking kill you, you piece of shit, you shit, yeah, stuff like that. And then
they can really let out their rage that they always feel.
Even before they race, like, you better fucking do this. And then once it starts going, you know, everyone's like, what, like getting really pent up. You really get into it. That's the great part of it, just like being surrounded by all these, you know, sober Koreans, and then
Never seen one before.
go there. It's surprising. That's where they all are. And then as soon as they hit the finish line, it's just like this huge wave. You know, if you could, you know, the wave that you do at a stadium like that. But if that was translated into like a huge wave of sound of yeah, and then we were. His dad was so funny. He just kept doing it together as well. And
how'd you do?
I made $4.
Yeah.
But I spent about 40.
Well, okay, you didn't.
Start
with that.
in the beginning, I had no idea what he was doing. I brought a program. I was like, "Gan, can I use yours?" He's like, "Get your own, bitch." I'm like, "All right, fine, fuck you." And then I started getting it. It's all in Korean.
Yeah.
Somehow he's learning Korean because he understood everything. I was like, "Oh yeah, it looks like a TV guide program manual on how to build your own computer."
Right.
And they gave you like a little ticket billet where you kind of looks like a SAT, you know, test paper. You're just trying to fill in all the boxes, and had no idea what I was doing. I said to Dan, I was like, how do I order my raisins? He's like, what the fuck? Are you ordering? Like, you're not gonna eat them, right? I was like, I don't know. And and then my first bet, I had no idea. I was just copying Dan. I was like, so $5 here, $5 that. Like I just bet $15 on like this card. I had no idea what it was about, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it cool next time. $1 on this guy, and then $2, and somehow slowly got into it. But it's kind of interesting because you have, you know, all the statistics of all the jockeys, and you have all the stats of the horses and how they work well against each other. And you think you know what you're doing after a while. Like, oh well, this guy, he did pretty good in Jeju, and he got like 4th place here, 2th place, but he weighs like 52 kilograms and stuff like that, and still lose. Every time. Yeah.
Did you win one race?
I won one race.
That felt good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Because out of 10 horses, I picked one, and he seemed to do alright.
You're just kissing the ajashi's left and right.
No, not even. There was one ajashi while we were doing it, he just came out of nowhere. He was just watching us taking our cards. Just like, because it was in Seoul, but there was also horse races you can bet it on in Jeju, which are televised on the screen.
Oh, really?
And then one guy, he's strangely spoke really good English, only in the sense of there was no absolute truth when betting in Jeju.
He said
no absolutes. We're like, why? Why not? No absolutes. And then he walked away. We're like, wow, was this guy even real?
That's the trick to seeming like you're fluent in a language. Just learn one kind of advanced word, and then
that's like taxi talk, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you're in a taxi, you're constantly bombarded with the same interview questions constantly. So then afterwards, you're just like, okay, well, I can say that really well. Turn left.
Yeah.
But if you never turn right in your entire life, you're like,
absolute would be a good word to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're very serious.
If you learn one of those, like, one esoteric, profound words, even the word profound in Korean, that would be interesting.
And just slip it in everywhere.
Yes.
Kimchi is profound.
I like to use the word elegant in Korean.
What is it?
Ua.
Ua.
Uahage. Elegantly. Uahage. So if someone's asked me, like, oh, your Korean's not good, and I say in Korean, like, I can't speak English eloquently yet. And they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, that's all I can say. So it's kind of a mindfuck.
Yeah,
so.
It's just a trick. I used to work at horse races in Maryland. Maryland's like a big horse race state. And
oh wow.
When I was in Boy Scouts, the way we would raise money is we would walk around the horse race grounds and sell programs to all the really, really rich families.
Like, you just get your program here, kids. Oh,
and then at the end, we'd go pick up their trash.
With like a little stabbing.
No. It was far more fun. We would go right in the back of pickup trucks, like really fast through fields, and pick up these metal cans, put them in the truck, jump off. Like if you're 14, it's like the best. And you get so many like discarded lacrosse sticks because they're all bougie bitches that just play lacrosse.
At the racetrack?
Yeah, because it's like a big tailgating thing. You have just fields and fields of cars, and like it was like 3 races in 8 hours. So they're just like drinking and having cheese and playing.
And
lacrosse.
then they would bring the lacrosse.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
We just clean up the trash.
Damn. So how was that?
It's a good effort. I loved it.
That was like a good reminiscent memory.
Yeah. It was crazy fun. Just like being in the back of a pickup truck, they're going pretty fast, and like it's going to bumps, and you're just
doing your thing, basically.
Yeah, you're just covered in garbage.
So you're like a 14-year-old garbage guy, just picking up like stuff, right? But it seems so like, wow, this is free. This is
It's kind of like a Huckleberry Finn type of fun. It's like, okay, we're dirty and we are wearing people's trash, and we love it.
Sorry about that. So, okay, when I have a question, you kind of can't question, but when you think of the word successful, who comes into your mind?
Donald J. Char.
So smooth. Make America great again.
Yeah. Jesus. I don't know. Successful is a freaky concept. It's such a... the word just stresses me out.
Okay, well, that's a good way to do that. How come?
It's I mean, it's the thing everyone is looking to achieve, and a lot of people get it, and more people don't. So it's a stressful benchmark for like how well you lived your life. It's like, can you label yourself successful or getting by? And
it's also the definition of what constitutes successful for yourself. Right?
True.
I mean,
true.
Someone who's like a Forbes thing, he could be successful, but maybe into your mind it could be different. Because the definition changes compared to some vagabond guy just going out there.
Yeah.
Like Kung Fu King, the Legends, roaming the world and shit. Like, that's successful, right? Like,
yeah.
So is there any person that you feel kind of correlates to your type of definition of successful?
I mean, I do comedy, so I think of a lot of comedians.
Sure. Okay.
It's like that's a good representation of just the stress that success brings to me anyway. It's like, how many people are doing comedy? How many people are successful?
Right. Sure.
It's like,
so can you just name a few of your favorite comics then?
Right now I'm listening to Pete Holmes and Louis C.K. of course, and Dave Attell, and like the big hitters.
I love Attell.
Yeah.
Berlin. That's the only thing I could say of Attell.
I've been listening to like a lot of the podcasts that they do.
Yeah. Oh wait, Dave Attell has on a podcast?
He doesn't do. He goes on.
Right. All of them. I think he would be awesome. So.
I don't think he'd be happy doing it. He doesn't
so
seem like a pod.
He's just always so hard on himself, and
true.
But he's just such a prolific comedic writer. Like, he has so much shit just going on constantly.
I think he would hate himself for doing it.
Yeah. Like, he was selling himself out doing a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But he does make a good host. No,
sure.
good guest, rather. I wanted to say ghost. I was gonna mix ghost with host.
Not as good as me. Ghost.
Guest and host. Ghost.
Ghost and house.
Ghost house. Yes. We need more ghost movies. Okay. So that was that's kind of interesting in the sense that Pete Holmes is really different from CK and Dave Attell. So for example, let's just kind of break it down a little bit. When you're thinking of Pete Holmes, and compared to Louis C.K., what are those specific qualities of those guys, even though they're different, that you enjoy about?
Like Pete Holmes is like explosive. Like, he just has so much energy, and like he just like takes the crowd hostage with like he's a very positive comedian, which is interesting whenever you see it.
I think I say rare.
And rare, yeah. Whenever you see one that isn't like crazy cynical, and he just like likes joy, and he still has cynical bits, and like he like approaches things in that side too, but he's just like a very happy, like energetic guy that brings you into his world like so strong.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really special.
And him and Louis, just such like natural delivery. It's like you don't even realize that the jokes are constructed.
Right.
Which I think Pete Holmes is an improviser as well.
He must have a lot of experience doing that.
Yeah.
He's really great with impressions too.
Oh yeah.
I love his Batman. You ever seen those videos?
So long ago. I don't even remember.
So 2015.
So 2015. Yeah, but no, I think he's maybe he started in improv and then moved over to stand up.
Interesting.
Which is something I can relate to.
So how was that transition for you? Do you remember that experience of just trying stand up? Stand up was the first time for you here in Seoul?
In Bangkok.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
There's a pretty good comedy scene in Bangkok.
Awesome. Okay.
And what's cool about there is Bangkok gets so much tourism.
Yeah.
Like everyone goes to Thailand all year. That you can draw new crowds, like every other week.
That's great.
Like there is the Comedy Club Bangkok, which still exists, and they do improv one Friday and then stand up the next. They rotate like that, and they can bring in. The stand up was more successful. They can bring in like 120 people for a show.
Yeah.
And that was a stand up, and the improv would, less, 50 or 60.
Cool.
But that's where I started doing stand up first, which is it's just a lot harder for me. Like, I talk to stand ups who are like, oh, I could never do improv. I'm like, I can't do stand up. I'm the different brain sort of thing.
So in terms of different brain, how do you feel they're hardwired differently?
I mean, stand up is like, to like make an analogy, like stand up would be like learning a violin. And
God damn!
to class up.
This is an analogy.
And then like improv is like being able to dance well to music in a club.
Okay.
It's like you can feel one and you can be craftful at another.
Okay. So it's okay. With that analogy, I can kind of understand. Like it's kind of easier to step your toes into improvisation.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a free form base.
Yeah.
Just like a structure set around you, and you're just trying to work things out rhythmically.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It is very rhythmic.
And yeah, okay. I can definitely say that too. Like the violin itself, you got to bring your violin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to pay for the lessons, and you got to start.
You gotta sit alone in a room for
And the practice
hours.
is when you gotta perform in front of a recital. That's like your first practice. You gotta practice while you're performing.
That's the brutal thing about stand-up is like you can really only do the real practice in front of people. There's not many other skills where you have to like you have to work it out. You have to start with a crowd. Like you have to suck with witnesses.
With witnesses. So they can say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
That's great. Has any of your improvisation, scenarios ever worked in helping you create material when you're doing stand-up?
For stand-up scenes?
Yeah.
No, because after I do an improv scene, I forget it.
Oh, you forget everything?
I don't remember one improv scene I've ever done.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's the same like in the moment thing, and like the more you forget it, the better you or the more you're into it. It's like you're just like in the moment, you're so focused on it, like you are the character or whatever.
Yeah.
Like things are going great, everything's clicking, like, and it's awesome. And then 5 minutes later, you're like, what was that about? Like I don't even remember.
That's cool.
The concept. So no, I don't bring any improv into stand up.
But even now you're doing both stand up and improv.
Yeah,
at the same time, right?
Yeah. Right now, the stand-ups kind of haven't done too much lately. I get through, like, peaks and waves. I really feel like doing it because it's really challenging, and when it works, it feels good. And then there's times where I just, like, I don't feel like stressing out about it.
I think it's pretty cool, though, because considering if you do both, you always kind of can preoccupy, for lack of a better term, just preoccupy, get yourself basically engaged in doing one thing or the other because, comedy here is like maybe a few shows a month or something. It's not constant, but at least, with CSI or something, you can kind of go there.
CSI is the
I know.
TV show.
I was just going to figure that you're going to figure out like these hot spiders on the wall, like improvise. Well, I think this guy did it. Imagine they did it like CSI.
Yeah.
Like improvising crime scenes.
Ooh.
Like you just go to like, actually I'm not a detective.
I'm gonna make a few calls today. I'm gonna get the guys over here.
Yeah, that would be great. Not at my house though. What? You got a UV light, that'd be terrible. like I killed 5 baboons.
Is that what that smell is?
Yeah. It's not this brother's soda, Makali, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can still get, always engaged doing something.
Yeah,
right?
it's. I didn't know how much I'd be able to do comedy abroad. I was worried about it, but it's been
because you were already doing it before. Right?
Yeah. I did improv back in the States. That's like, that was my thing in college, and then it was my favorite thing. It's the thing I know the most, and I was afraid coming out here I was going to sacrifice that.
Right.
But no, I think it's. I mean, especially nowadays, it's like any big city, like improv is popping up. I think stand-up's been there a little longer.
Sure.
Which I'm very happy about. The guy I improvised with in Bangkok, he was one of the best Canadian improvisers. I think he was voted best Canadian improviser in like 2008 or something. And then he just hated the cold, so he started a club in Bangkok.
That makes sense.
And he's like just training the expats there and putting on shows and yeah.
So did you learn a lot from him while you were there?
No, because I already had my education before I came.
Okay. So you kind of knew the essentials, like the foundation.
Yeah. What's interesting is he's older school improv.
Okay.
He's like first generation improv.
Okay.
Yeah. So he learned it when I was first sort of starting, and he kind of has the more kind of traditional outlook to it, more like it's very gamey and like maybe not as deep. And then when I went to school, I was with a bunch of theater kids who were like really serious theater kids that used improv to make their acting better.
Yeah.
So they like treated improv very seriously, like this is an art form, and like it wasn't necessarily as shallow, which isn't a bad thing.
But they're adding more depth into it because they're trying to go through other acting stuff.
Yeah. So I came from that way, where like
cool.
You can start a scene like super committed and it's not funny and it's kind of scary.
Right.
And then like your payoff is huge instead of like you keep being kind of hokey from the top. And I think like older improvisers, they kind of stay in that world. Because I mean that's when improv has evolved.
It's traditionalist, right? They just stick with what they
yeah.
It's kind of hard to unlearn, I guess. Is it hard to unlearn in improvisation?
I don't know.
For example, in the sense, I'll give an example. Like if I'm doing jiu-jitsu, there's some traditionalists, especially when you're doing any type of martial art. It's really hard to get a guy who's been doing 5 years in taekwondo and then to take him doing Muay Thai.
Right.
His kicks are much more different that he has to relearn. Whereas you get a guy who's just has had no experience at all. You just get him to that
blank slate.
Yeah.
Maybe because anytime I meet someone who tries to have me improvise a different style, I don't.
Oh, really?
I always stick to what I do. But usually that's okay with people.
Okay. As long as the scene works, right?
Yeah, as long as it works.
That's the most. I guess that's one of the most.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just like I think the older generations, just their technique or what they value or how they try to be funny, like it's just different strategies.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we finish, if I had a guy who was doing hip hop here, I'd ask him to spit some rhymes. So how about? Do you want to try something out? You want to do some not rhyming, but do you want to do some improv?
Some improv?
Yeah, that's
you and I.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd be happy to do it. So
yeah, I would totally want to do that. Have you had a?
No, nothing at all.
You haven't had a.
No, I just
hip hop guy here yet.
Just jerking off. Wait, what? No hip hop guys. Maybe before, but no, we never.
No.
Not improvise. So I'm ready.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Here's what we'll do.
This could turn out really good or really bad.
That's the joy of it.
And either way, it's gonna be edited.
Yeah, improv can fail.
Yeah.
And you never know. All right.
Right.
Let's just do a job interview.
Okay.
Do you want to be the interviewer or the interviewee?
Sure, I'll be interviewer.
Interviewer.
Yes.
Okay. Go.
So. Hi there. Hi, welcome. Please take a seat.
Hey. Yeah.
So, welcome to this job interview.
Okay.
You look really excited.
You have no idea.
Yes.
I couldn't sleep last night.
Oh, really?
No.
That's
up all night.
That's great because this job requires people not to sleep.
Yeah.
So far, you look like you're doing a really great job.
Yeah. I haven't been sleeping for the entire week in a prep.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great because, as you know, when you applied for this on Craigslist, basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to. Oh, sorry about that.
Is there a...
That was a ghost.
Is there a ghost?
This is part of the situation. We're basically trying to find people to kill Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
So, but I know you haven't been sleeping, and we're trying to, basically, we want you to be a Ghostbuster.
Well, I can do it. I'm real tired, very sleepy.
Right.
But, the ad said it was like $25, right?
Yes,
and
but are you okay? Like, do you know about Ghostbusters? Do you know what we do here?
I've seen the movies, and I will not see the remake.
Oh, really? Well...
I don't know if that's related.
Well, kind of, because, you're going to be part of the people working for the remake, in the sense that you're going to be the fourth Ghostbusters, where they have 3 of the female ones.
Yeah.
But unless you are... I'm not trying to impose you on what your gender identity is. I don't want to say what it is, but...
Yeah.
If you're
cisgendered male.
Cisgendered male?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
CIS? Cis?
CSI.
CSI. Okay, that's perfect. So we need people to, investigate crime scenes with ghosts, paranormal activity.
With the actors from the Ghostbusters movies?
Yeah, because there's like ectoplasm.
Okay.
I'm sorry. When there's a lot, we call it ectoplasm.
Yeah.
It's like a lot everywhere. So we need someone to just clean that up.
Whew.
So after they start blasting their guns,
wow,
we need you to clean that shit up.
That's amazing.
Is that okay? $25.
Oh my god, I need the money so bad because of my drug problem.
Oh, okay. What drug problem?
What drug?
Yeah.
That's personal.
Oh, that's
sorry.
True, because we have to make you do a drug test when we do this, so we gotta make you spit into a cup and then pee in it. So I hope that's okay.
Spit and then pee into the same
cup?
Yeah,
we gotta mix it up with the finger, and then that kind of winds up. That's how you make ectoplasm. Like
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Wow. It goes not even ghostly. It looks kind of ghostly.
I'm so tired. I don't even know if you're here. I don't know if. Hey, you're real.
I'm here for you, man.
Thank you.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay,
Do you really need $25 for an hour?
Jesus, yeah.
Jesus? Jesus? You see ghosts already. That's amazing. Jesus.
Jesus over there. Look, Adolf.
Adolf
Adolf
and Jesus. Wait, what are they doing right now?
Prince is here.
Prince, Jesus, and Adolf walk into a job interview.
Uh-huh.
I think you might be the person because you are bringing in all these ghosts. You could be like a magnet.
I'm like the dog whisperer, but
for ghosts. Like, they just come to you.
So just pee in that?
They just want to jizz their ectoplasm all over you. You could be like the fluffer for ghosts.
Okay.
That's basically... I didn't write that on the Craigslist title.
No, you omitted it.
Yes, I did, but it's $25 an hour.
Alright.
25 won.
I'm gonna go spit and pee in this cup right here.
Alright. Perfect.
And scene.
And scene. That was fun.
How was that?
That was interesting.
Uh-huh.
It really was. Like,
yeah.
Had no idea what was going on.
Me too.
Right? Trying to go into the scene. Like, you came in with, like, a character.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing something, like, you got distracted, and...
I was trying to be so sleep-deprived that I was seeing shit.
Right, and then that kind of helped, okay, well, just not be like, hey, like, anyways, because that was the initial reaction, just be like, oh, anyways, and trying to go with my thing.
Right.
It was interesting just to go like, oh, you saw something there, and kind of go with that.
Sometimes you, like, have an idea in a scene, and then the other person doesn't go that way.
Right.
And we call that killing your babies. You gotta kill your baby.
Oh, yes.
You, like, have an idea, like, okay, the scene's gonna go this way, and it's gonna be really good.
That's true.
And then the person says something that you can't go this way anymore. And it's sad to do it, but you just gotta kill the baby.
That's such a powerful metaphor because that applies in all type of art forms. Like, that's a there's a similar term in art where you got to just let your babies go.
Yeah.
You know, just let them go.
For the good of the whole piece.
Right. Sometimes you either kill them or you just let them go.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a friend that does like corporate improv workshops for big businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they do it for communication and teamwork or whatever.
Yeah.
But they do like one-word stories as a warm-up.
Yeah.
And these like high-powered bosses, they have a lot of trouble like just having the word a come to them, or they need to say the.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want to be the important part, but like sometimes you just need to say the word the for the story to make sense and move forward. But they really struggle with it. It's like, that's not important enough for me to say. But that's just like the same thing. You need to like sacrifice what you want for the better of the whole thing.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Sacrifice. Kill those babies.
Kill those babies.
I think that's a perfect way to end this. You know, I like that. I'm going to put that in the description. Talking to Zach about how to kill babies.
Yeah.
That's going to get a lot of views.
Well, what's good about killing a baby is their necks are very, very soft.
Yes, and that works so well in the HBC information board Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Or Oink, only in Korea.
Yeah.
So.
They say the force of opening a Snapple bottle is the same force needed to kill a baby.
Just like eating Spam, it's the same consistency.
Oh, I fucking broke your chair.
I thought it was a balloon.
Surprise! Okay?
We'll be okay.
Sorry about that.
But anyways, I think that's enough for today. I think that was we just flew by 1 hour.
Really?
Yeah, we did a full hour, so that was pretty cool. So, is there any site you want to let people know about what you're doing?
SCI that we do open rehearsals every Sunday.
And it's open to anybody.
Anyone, right? No experience necessary. Come and play. We are very kind.
Yeah.
We are not going to judge you if you're not confident or you don't think you're good, because we just want to make you better.
I think that's completely true, because it always seems like everyone there is very open, and it's just...
Yeah.
I think it really helped out the Korean community as well.
Yeah.
Just having improvisation.
I
think they need more of that.
The Korean people that are heading it are really trying to develop a like Chicago-type improv scene in Korea. Cool. Which is a massive undertaking. Will probably take a long time, but we have our own theater.
Yep.
If you do stand-up, if you do theater, Shakespeare, anything, and you want to be a better performer, a more confident performer, yeah, do improv.
So Sundays?
Every Sunday. Tonight.
Tonight. What time?
6 to 9.
6 to 9.
Right outside Sukmyong.
Women's University.
Women's University.
Sukmyong.
On the Blue Line.
Dude, Blue Line, 6 to 9. Improv. Tonight.
Super fun.
With this guy.
And others.
All right, thank you so much, Zach, for coming out.
Course.
It was really fun. I actually learned a lot about that. I think it's really interesting to meet you doing that, because every time when I ever see you do stand up, you have a really great stage presence, and I think that works really well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of comedians really pick up on that every time we see another performer. It's really great to see everyone's style.
Yeah.
So it was really fun to do some of this kind of improv.
Cool.
And I would really want to go there sometime and just try it out. It seems like a lot of fun with everyone.
Always welcome.
Yeah. Cool. So thanks again for watching, everyone. Have a great day wherever you are. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening. Please subscribe to YouTube and all that jazz, blah blah blah. And boing boing, boing boing. Okay.